So, should I stay as a sole trader or switch to a limited company? Making the decision between sole trader and limited company is a difficult decision. In this video, we're going to talk about exactly when you should become a limited company. So, thank you for watching this channel starting up, all about sharing tips for selling online. Videos every Monday and Thursday and daily question and answer videos every day. Make sure to subscribe to this channel if you're not already subscribed. Give this video a like if you like what I'm saying, and also share this video with anyone that's going to find this information useful. And I want to start this video off by asking you a question. Are you making side income yourself? And if so, are you a sole trader? In America, that's called a sole proprietor. Or are you a limited company? Which one of those are you and why? Let me know in the comments section below. So when you start making side income, whether it's Amazon merch, Shopify, Amazon FBA, eBay, any way of making money on the side, you're going to come to the decision of whether you need to become a sole trader or if you want to go the whole step and become a limited company. I'm currently a sole trader myself for the money I make through this YouTube channel, my Amazon t-shirt business and other income sources. And I've been thinking recently, do I need to make the step to become a limited company? And because of this, I've spoken to one of my business mentors for advice exactly on this. And he has been telling me some really interesting ideas, information, perspectives on this situation. So I'm going to basically give you what he told me and basically say when you should become a limited company based on what I've learned from my mentor. So there are some downsides to being a sole trader. Like I said, I've been a sole trader for 2 years and I've realized some of these downsides recently. So those downsides, some of them to just run off my head. First downside is you have no legal protection over your company name. So, if you're going to start a new business and you're going to start trading under this business name, there's no trademark or no company protection there. So anyone else could come along and basically use your name for their own business and for their own purposes. So you don't get that protection that you get when you're a limited company over your name unless you go ahead and you purchase a trademark in addition to protect your name. And I've made a video about purchasing a trademark for your company name, which I'll link you to somewhere in the card or the description. But if you haven't registered a trademark, which costs around 150, 170 pounds, then you've got no legal protection over your company name. So that's one downside of being a sole trader. Another downside is you've got no legal protection. So say you as a sole trader get sued, so someone takes your advice or buys your products or has your services and it causes injury or problems for them, they can come back and sue you. And as a sole trader, sole proprietor, you've got no legal protection from the law. There's no barrier between you and your customer should there be a legal complication. So taking these two things into mind, the name protection, the legal name protection of your brand, your intellectual property, and also that legal barrier if you get sued, taking into account that I didn't have any of that up until this point, I am considering going into becoming a legal company. And one of the pros of having a limited company is, first off, you've got limited liabilities. So as a limited company, if your company gets into hot water, if your company gets sued, the person suing is suing your company rather than suing you. So if you get into trouble as a sole trader, you're personally getting sued by your customer or by the person complaining. But if your business gets into trouble when it's a limited business, then the only entity that can get into trouble and can lose money financially is the business. So you can protect your personal assets and only lose money that the company has in its records. So you have that barrier. It's kind of an insurance policy separating you from any person that's complaining and giving you protection over your own assets, and only the company can come into trouble. And also, if you register a company with Companies House and you become a limited company, no other company in your country, so in my case the UK, can use the same company name. So there straight away you have another protection there. You have a company name protected legally where you don't have to go and buy a trademark for 170, 180 pounds. You can become a limited company for about 14 pounds in the UK using Companies House and have your business name protected. So it seems like a simple decision, You've got these problems when you're a sole trader, these downsides, they get fixed when you become a limited company. Shouldn't you become a limited company straight away? Well, no. This is what my mentor basically taught me when I had my meeting with him recently. There are also downsides and added complications and complexities that come when you become a limited company. So there's going to be a point you're going to want to wait to until you become a limited company. And before that point, you should stay as a sole trader, sole proprietor. And I'll tell you what that point is in a second. But first off, let's talk about the downsides of being a limited company, the complications and the complexities. So first off, you open a whole can of worms with taxes and wages, a whole new amount of complications that weren't an issue when you're a sole trader. So when you're a sole trader, you just, at the end of the year, you do a tax report, you say how much you've earned, you take away your expenses, and you pay your personal income tax. But when you're a limited company, you have to do things like pay corporation tax, you have to pay VAT, you have to pay your personal income tax. There's a whole new level of complexity that comes into play when you go into a limited company. And if you're not a wizard with numbers and figures yourself, you're probably going to want to hire an accountant to do this stuff for you, which is going to be an added cost. So the complexity with tax is one thing. Also the complexity with wages. When you become a limited company, you need a company structure, so like director, employee, CEO, all that sort of stuff. And people get paid through a payroll system when you're a limited company. So you have to pay people wages, you can pay people bonuses, dividends. There's a whole new complexity put in place on paying people, actually getting your own money, getting your money from the company. Whereas before, you are the company is you. Any money that the company makes when you're a sole trader is basically you making it. But when you're a limited company, there's a barrier in between that, and you have to learn how to delegate and put all those systems in place to pay people, yourself and any potential employees you have for your limited company. So from wages and taxes alone, you can see there's a whole wealth of added difficulties and complexities that come into this when you take that step into becoming a limited company. Next off, there's a ton of additional costs that potentially could bite you when you go into a limited company. So I've got them written down here. So first off, filings with Companies House. You have to file official documents every year at Companies House, with like income records and that sort of stuff, to keep the Companies House, which is the legal entity in the UK that tracks all of businesses, that keeps them informed and aware of how well your company is performing. So you have to do all this paperwork that you didn't have to do before when you become a limited company. And because that's probably going to be something you're not equipped to do, you haven't got the skills to do, you're probably going to have to hire someone to do that for you. Then you've got the wages and taxes. You're going to have to hire an accountant to do all that stuff for you. You have to pay VAT. You can also get fines from Companies House if you mess up any of that paperwork, and the fines start at £150 and they increase for every additional penalty you make. So there's a lot of complexity there and a lot of additional costs that aren't there when you're a sole trader. And my mentor predicted that those additional costs are going to be about an extra £2,000 a year when you become a limited company that you didn't have when you were a sole trader and you're running everything yourself. So the burning question, when should you register a limited company? When do you take that step from sole trader, sole proprietor into a limited company? Well, my mentor, with all of his years of experience and the information he gave me and I've shared with you today, he said I would wait until you're earning at least £20,000 worth of profit every year before becoming a limited company. So only when you hit that £20,000 of profit, not total revenue, but profit. So you take out all your expenses and your costs, you're left with £20,000 of profit. That's when I've been recommended to become a limited company. And so I'm passing that information back onto you. Now, I think my numbers, my profit, my figures probably match up with that. So I'm making the decision now of whether to take that step or not. But I'd be really interested on hearing whether you're thinking after watching this video of becoming a limited company or staying as a sole proprietor, or if you've already made this step, or if there's any considerations that you should need to think about before making this step that I haven't talked about in this video, anything like that, share that useful information in the comment section below, because people are going to find it really useful, and people share ideas in the comment section, and there's more value really in those comments than the one in this video. So make sure to share your experience and your wisdom in the comment section and share that with the community. But that's it really. I just wanted to pass on this super useful information that I got from this session with my mentor onto you so that we can all learn together. But you know, you might run into hurdles when you're making your side income and you've got your stuff like Spotify or Amazon merch or any business online or other that you're making outside of the 9 to 5, but there are always answers to your problems. So just stay motivated, stay committed, put consistent effort in. That's what I always talk about in this channel, and I'm sure you can do it and succeed just like I'm trying to. But thanks for watching. I hope you found this information useful. Make sure to subscribe to the channel Starting Up if you're not subscribed. Check out the daily videos. Leave me a question if you want a question answered in the daily videos, and I will see you very soon. Peace out.